What do we expect from Jake Haener in his first NFL start?
You know, I expect as much for better and for worse as I expected from Spencer Rattler going into his first start. I think there was a lot more buzz and excitement about Rattler because, I think the ceiling still probably does feel higher, but I also expected, some good and some bad, and we've seen that in brief glimpses from Haener. He's attempted 29 passes. He's completed just under half of them, but he did lead the Saints on one touchdown drive, and then in the Chargers game when Rattler got benched and he came out in there, he had 4 drives, and he led them to 2 field goal attempts and the 3-yard line on 4 of those drives. So he has moved the ball, only 1 touchdown, no turnovers. And, we've seen him throughout training camp. It was close with him and Rattler in camp. And he has an uber confidence that you hear every time he talks. And I think he displays that. Nick had a great line earlier this week when he said he's like Jolt Cola out there because, he maybe he'll be able to slow that down. I think every time we've seen him come in the game, he's treating the opportunity like he's only got one shot. Now he's got a whole game to maybe settle in. But the other thing he has going for him that Spencer Rattler didn't is all 5 starting offensive linemen.
Right.
Now, we thought that would make a difference in New York last week, and it did not.
No.
The run game was awful in New York, and I was very surprised. And the offensive line didn't look that good. But now they've had 2 weeks together. He's going to have Eric McCoy. He's going to have Cesar Ruiz. Spencer Rattler didn't have that luxury. And so if they can get a run game going, if they can keep the score close, I think he can settle in and be a, it's funny. I was just talking to Andrew Janoko today. And he pointed out this is going to be his 3rd time in 2 years where he's coaching a guy making his first NFL start, including Tyson Bagent with the Bears last year.
Yeah.
Now, Tyson Bagent won his first NFL start with the Bears and was playing pretty well in the Superdome until the Saints finally got to him. Can he come out and have a Tyson Bagent-like performance? That's not too much to ask.
No, it's not too much to ask at all, especially today after hearing Haener talk about the entire experience. I even forgot that during the summer, he went through personal experiences with the skin cancer diagnosis, overcoming that, going through training camp, coming into this season. Derek gets hurt. They say, okay, we're going to go with Spencer. And he's just sitting there like, well, bro, I've been here for a year. I've been doing the same things. What have I done to not kind of be put in this position? Then continuing throughout, just continue to be a team player. I said on Wednesday that I thought Spencer should start this game. I'm not going to go off of that, but I can say with just hearing Jake talk about this opportunity, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
That gives me more confidence.
Yeah.
That gives me way more confidence in his ability to just go out there and sling it. Just do something. You know what I mean?
I do wonder how much of that is Jake trying to convince himself that he has nothing to lose. Because in the next breath, he said, this might be the only chance I ever get to start an NFL game, which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he recognizes the reality of that. But I also am glad that he's saying, I recognize that, but I'm not going to let that make me play tight. He said, it wouldn't do me any good to go out there and be like, I can't screw up.
Right.
He's like, this team is 5-8. This might be my one chance. Derek could be back next week. They could turn to Spencer next week, next year. Who knows? But the best thing he can do is put his best game on tape.
Sure.
Not don't screw it up, not be conservative. He's going to go out there and I think we're going to see a little Jameis. I think we're going to see a little Derek Carr. I think we're going to see a little I'm trying to make you guys recognize me and my qualities. And he always lists his preparation, and so does everybody else as his number one quality. He thinks he's an NFL starter. He thinks he's Drew Brees. He's been trying to be Drew Brees since he was a fan of Drew Brees as like a 4th grader, wearing a Drew Brees jersey to school. That's how he acted all throughout college when he did a great job for Fresno State after he transferred from Washington. That's how he's always carried himself around here. He has that confidence, but he also has that just unbridled energy, the Jolt Cola energy, and you see it now. Maybe to his detriment. Maybe he needs to take one deep breath. But he is not a guy that's going to come in and try to go, 11 of 18 with a bunch of handoffs in this game. He's going to try to move the chains.
No, for sure. And even looking at his past experience in the NFL when he's gotten into the game, late in that Denver game, the Saints, they were soulless out there. They were just walking around. He comes in, does some things with Cedric Wilson, ends up scoring a touchdown. And it was encouraging, okay, when he doesn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders in that certain sense of come in and make something happen. He can just do his thing and make it happen. So I think with an opportunity to prepare this entire week, go in there, name the starter on a Thursday, going into a Sunday game.
And really, the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
I think Nick reported that part of the reason they waited to officially tell everyone on Thursday afternoon was they wanted to go through 2 days of practice, make sure everything looked as expected. But they went into Wednesday and Thursday's practice with the intention of Haener starting for sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what the guy can do. I really am. I think that, he's earned this opportunity. I know we talked the other day about having to just stay ready and put yourself in positions and stuff, but I honestly do think, what is there to lose? Go out there, show what you can do, and, man, I hope you succeed. I really do.
You said you were thinking Rattler. If the question is 100% best chance to beat the Commanders, were you still leaning Rattler for that, or were you leaning Rattler more because you can't help but have an eye toward 2025 and giving Rattler as many chances as possible? If this is just – like if you're like, Derek Carr's coming back next week. It's just 1 week. Would you still be picking Rattler over Haener? Or who really gives the Saints the best chance to win this week?
I mean, honestly, I think Rattler, but in all honesty, I would be crazy to not see what the Saints have in Jake. That would be, I honestly think that Jake and Spencer both have upsides. We could talk about
they both have downsides.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
and we could both talk about
downsides.
the ceiling over on the career. But look, let's just put it out there, put it on tape, see what we could do. Let's not talk about college. Oh, in college they did this, in college they did that. Let's put it on tape in the NFL, live bullets, and see what happens. So I'm sticking on it just because in my heart I do believe that, but I'm not mad at all that they went with Jake Haener because I think you need to see what they have out there.
I kind of think Jake Haener gives him the best chance to win this week, but partly because of the decisions they made previously. Yeah. They've had Jake be the backup since Rattler got benched in Week 8.
Yeah.
So for the last almost 2 months, Haener's been the backup, and he's entered multiple games as the backup because of that. So he's just gotten a little more prepared for this. I think if you always thought you were going to turn back to Rattler if needed, I would have kept him as the number 2. So that's part of the reason why. But even if you are I don't care at all who gives the Saints the best chance to win in this game, which is probably a large portion of the fan base.
Yeah.
This doesn't hurt the 2025 team either. Like it doesn't hurt to find out, check a few boxes and find out what you have in Haener. I mean, I think we all think Rattler is the higher ceiling developmental prospect, the one guy who maybe could develop into a starter or is more likely to develop into a starter. But it doesn't hurt the team to check a couple boxes and get some more information on Jake Haener too, which they certainly will in this game. And as we said earlier this week, if Haener does struggle and gets 1 or 2 starts, there will be opportunities to turn to Rattler before the season's over. Right. I know they're making it seem like Carr is really close to coming back because they didn't even rule him out for this game. They listed him as doubtful.
Yeah.
And knowing Carr, even if the Saints lose these next 2 games and get mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, he'll probably want to play against the Raiders in Week 17. But, I think once they get mathematically eliminated, we'll be sitting in these chairs and we'll be having a lot more conversations about should they start looking at quarterbacks who might be starting next year and let Carr's hand heal.
And that's exactly where I was about to go with Derek Carr and Rizzy's comments saying that, hey, we don't even know if we might list Carr as the backup quarterback or the emergency third-string quarterback. And it's like, man,
give him a week off. Yeah. For God's sakes, give him a week off.
Yeah, but at this point, I mean, look, you're trying to show people that you should get that interim tag taken off, turning over every rock and see. So, hey, I respect it in a certain sense, but –
yeah, Rizzy's all in to win this game, no doubt about it.
He has to be. Every game, he has to be. He has no choice.
Carr shouldn't see the field, I would think. Like, he has not even officially cleared the concussion protocol, although they seem pretty confident that he would clear the concussion protocol. He just needs to pass one more step, which I assume is going through Saturday's walkthrough.
Yeah.
But that would be Carr playing without practicing all week and Carr playing with a fracture in his hand that is, like, heavily like in what world –
is that
does
even
it help
necessary?
You for Carr to enter the game as the backup? Like, just tell him, all right, let's see how you look Monday. We'll reevaluate it Monday morning.
It's okay, Warrior. You can calm down and sit this one out.